Well, good morning, everybody here. Thank you all for being here and for joining us this morning. What an awesome crowd. We've got a lot of great folks here. Look at the room, packed room, and I see so many wonderful folks who've made or are still making a difference in our community every day. And I thank you all for being here. We're joined today by Delegate Terry Kilgore. Thank you, Terry, for coming. And here in just a few moments, you'll hear from Terry. Also, we're joined by Wise County and City of Norton Sheriffs, Sheriff Carlos Noakes, Sheriff Ronnie Oakes. Thank you all so much for being here. I think that just about everybody, all the Commonwealth attorneys sitting here, have probably had an opportunity to work with both of these gentlemen while they're sheriff, and also maybe state police with the sheriff, with Ronnie Oakes while he was a trooper. Heck, I even know that I think, Sheriff Oakes, you probably had a thing or two to do with most of, or some of us getting elected. And we'll hear from them in just a second. I also want to recognize the attorneys and staff in my office that are here as well. We closed down shop to be here today. So first, if you're here with my office, raise your hand. Thank you all so much for what you all do. Appreciate it. And I want to recognize in our jury box, I said earlier, this is a jury that I want. This is a jury of former Commonwealth attorneys and law enforcement officers. Let me begin, and y'all just wave. We have with us Mike Abbott, Gary Gillum, Joey Carrico, Greg Callan, Tim McAfee, and Marty Large. Two of our recent former Commonwealth attorneys are now judges, and unfortunately they couldn't be here today, and that's Judges Chad Dotson and Ron Elkins, and they're busy fulfilling their judicial duties, and I think Judge Dotson's on the bench right now, just in the other courtroom, so we apologize we can't have them here with us today. We also have the families, and I think this is really special, the families of two former Wise County Commonwealth attorneys here with us as well. Joseph Cusco and his family, y'all wave at us. Thank y'all for coming. And also Kenneth Asbury and his family. Thank y'all for being here. And as y'all know, Kenneth Asbury was the longest serving Commonwealth attorney in Wise County history. That's pretty cool. Not too long ago either. So thank you all so much for coming. Join me and just giving them a warm welcome, a round of applause, and our appreciation for the years of service that they've had to our community. You know, we live in one of the most beautiful places on earth, and if you think about it, these majestic mountains that we live in are said to be the oldest mountain range in the world. The mountains are the heart of our community, and here we are in the heart of Appalachia, right? The mountains they define our heritage, our culture, and our history. And oftentimes, I don't know about you, but oftentimes I take for granted the beauty and the history that these mountains hold. Likewise, we're in an historic building. This building, even this very courtroom, the old circuit courtroom, we're surrounded by rich history, heritage, and culture. Wise County was founded in 1856, and this courthouse built in 1896. If you think about all the cases that were tried right here in this room, and all of the stories, if this room could talk, if these walls could talk, what stories would they tell from those 121 years? Last week, Greg Gilbert and I were doing a case here in this courtroom. We were trying getting ready to do a preliminary hearing in a shoplifting case involving the City of Norton, and we had to go watch a video. So we left this room and we walked up this set of stairs out here to a little room that Mike Abbott has stored away. I'm telling your secrets, Mike, sorry. And we watched the video, preparing for evidence. And as we passed by, we happened to get a glimpse. There's a window right up here that shows a glimpse into what this courtroom was. Now right now we've got a ceiling with ceiling tiles and fluorescent lights. But the history of this courtroom if you take away all of this, you see the ornate history that this courtroom once was. And I think it's very important to preserve the legal history. It's beautiful. So if you have a moment at some point, go walk upstairs and look down. You can see that where the ceiling is and where the balcony in this courtroom used to be. It's beautiful. And again, if these walls could talk, oh, the stories they would tell. I was reminded in that instant and of our rich legal history and the need to preserve this history. The second floor of this courtroom is dark, it's boxed up, it's dusty, and for most folks forgotten. Far away from the hustle and bustle of our technology-filled, high-paced courtroom of today. I'm reminded that preserving this legal history and the heritage of Wise County is an important thing. And so, as we turn our attention to the task at hand, we've been blessed with some amazing Commonwealth attorneys, some wonderful public servants here in Wise County throughout the years. And beyond that, some talented judges and lawyers to boot. The legacy of their public service will live on and endure long past everybody in this room is gone. Hopefully today in this event will allow us to create a memory, to preserve the legacy of these public servants so that they're not forgotten in some dark, dusty room tucked away. That's why we're here. When I took office, I was contacted by a Commonwealth attorney in another jurisdiction, a faraway place, who was putting together a list of all the Commonwealth attorneys across the state and former Commonwealth attorneys. And he asked me for a list. And would you believe that no such list existed? So, with the help of many individuals, and I know efforts had already been taking place before I took office to create such a list, our office made a list and checked it twice and went to the books and tried our best to find out who served and when. And afterwards, we commissioned a list. But I wasn't satisfied with just a list. I said we needed to do something more, like have a plaque and hang it somewhere here in the courthouse. There are 28 individuals on this list that have held the office of Commonwealth Attorney since Wise County was founded in 1856. This plaque hopefully will live on long past any of us. Several private donations helped make this piece of history possible. And I thank you to those folks who gave. And for the rest of my term, this plaque is going to hang in my office downstairs at the courthouse on the first floor. So, I need you to help us spread the word. If anybody who's ever had any contact or been connected with the Commonwealth Attorney's office, maybe a family member that served, maybe a relative, maybe someone who served as an attorney or support staff, and you want to see the plaque, tell your family members and friends to come by the office, and our office team will be happy to host you and show you around the office and let you see this piece of history. I can testify, and I'm almost done, and then I want to hear from these guys. You know, we're in a courtroom, so we need to testify, right? I can testify personally from my experience in the short year and few months that I've been in office that serving in this office as Commonwealth Attorney is one of the greatest honors of my life. And I'm sure these guys say the same thing. It has been one of the most interesting and challenging times of my life. And I would say that it's an amazing job, but an incredibly tough one at the same time. The other Commonwealth attorneys who are here, I know, have shared those same emotions because they've told me as much. I'm reminded of the good work that they've done every single day that I enter the office. Because without their legacy and the work of these guys and the folks on this plaque, we couldn't do half of what we do and have an amazing team that we have. I wanted to try to identify some big things, some big cases or big accomplishments that we could talk about in order to bridge the gap into this. But if I started, it would take all day, if not longer. So I want to say this. We all have spent long nights in this building preparing for cases, getting ready for a big case. We've all worked with law enforcement out in the field and left the house at the middle of the night to go out and investigate. We've all worked here and waited impatiently in this courtroom and others, waiting for a jury verdict to come back. We each have crafted some kind of signature initiative or some kind of community service project to try to make our community better. The Commonwealth Attorney's role is oftentimes forgotten, but it's primarily to serve the public, to work with our law enforcement community to prosecute those who choose to break the law and thereby make our community not safe. It's that type of public service that is very public and oftentimes places yourself and your family in danger. And that's something that I know the family members who are here can probably speak to. But there's no higher calling than the career of public service and a chance to make a difference in people's lives, to work for the good of our community and to make it better. We see it in our doctors and our nurses and our police officers and our soldiers. We also see it in many other areas of civil service. In our local government. We've got several folks from our local government here today. And we also have clerks and judges and attorneys. They're all public servants in a way that sometimes never gets recognized, rarely gets the recognition that they deserve. Take just a second and join me in thanking those who serve in public service somewhere here at the courthouse. Thank you. I know for them, it's not just a job, it's not just work, it's their life. We all have different stories in how we got to the role of public service here in the courthouse. And we're all probably here for different reasons. But we all have made one common discovery. And that is in the legal profession and here at the courthouse, we're in an arena of real change, where real change can happen, where real leadership matters. It's an arena where a simple good idea or a good decision can have a lasting impact for generations and generations and generations. And so, the real leadership we're talking about today, and the leadership of those who are sitting here and those on this plaque, has made a difference in countless lives and changed our community for the better. Like the beauty of this historic courthouse, like the majesty of our ancient mountains, the contributions of these individuals are part of our history, heritage, and culture. And we should not ever take their accomplishments and contributions for granted. Without further ado, I'll ask Delegate Kilgore, Sheriff Oakes and Noakes, and the former Commonwealth attorneys to join me behind the podium as we unveil the plaque. And then you're going to hear from Delegate Kilgore, and then if any of the other Commonwealth attorneys want to say a few brief words, the mic and podium will be there. So come join me, guys. Come behind me here. Sure. Right. Sure. All right. And now.
Hang on. Let's get these folks so we can see them.
Gotcha.
Sheriff, come around here. You guys are in a bunch back there.
Let the photographer take over.
Tim, come in. Just a little bit. Y'all come on around. Now you can close it back up a little bit.
Awesome. Awesome.
Good. Thank you all for being here.
All right. And here just a moment after we finish with the pictures, y'all feel free to come up and check out this plaque yourself. All right, here it is, the historic plaque listing all the Commonwealth attorneys in Wise County history. Almost dropped it. I knew that was going to happen. There we go.
Good job. Good. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Delegate Kilgore, take us away.
I will not be as long as Chuck.
Sorry.
But,
I've heard that before.
but it is great to be here, and it's great to be here with, I think I practiced and had cases against and with all of these Commonwealth attorneys throughout my legal career, and I was glad that Chuck mentioned Ken Asbury and Joe Cusco, because when I first started practicing law, they were the legal giants here in Wise County and Southwest Virginia. So I appreciate the mention of those former Commonwealth attorneys and their service to Wise County. But ladies and gentlemen, these individuals who stand before you did countless hours of serving the community here in Wise County, and that should not be forgotten. It's a hard job. I was a part-time Commonwealth attorney over in Scott County, but at the time, and you always would come to Wise County. It's always been busy, always been a lot going on, and I'm glad that Chuck did not get into all the cases that have been tried here, because I know that there have been week-long trials here. There have been a lot of cases, and each one of these individuals here have participated and tried those cases, and were very successful. You all have some of the most successful former Commonwealth attorneys ever here in Wise County. But it's just such an honor for me, and thank you, Chuck, for asking me to be here to honor you all on this great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody want to say anything? Joey's close to the podium.
Mike Abbott.
Mike?
All I will say is he's telling me I was here in 1856. No, it's not. And I just wanted to say, you talked about Sheriff Oaks going back to his trooper days, and thank you for just giving me a warning that time. That's when I knew I was a good advocate, when Sheriff didn't ticket me.
Yeah.
I would also say that I wanted to get here today to hear what really happened back in those days, and they don't have a clue. The number of murders they said they handled, there wouldn't be anybody left in Wise County. They all walked to school uphill both ways, and they only had one or two people to help them with it. God love them. They came from
I thought they walked to court.
Any stuff. Well, thank you all again for being here. We're going to do an official picture of everybody together, and then y'all feel free to come up and check out the plaque and say hello to everybody. How about that? Tim, direct.
Here we go, guys. Hey, Tim, when I was here.
Mike, feel free to come in.
When did you have the idea for this?
Sure.
What brought it to fruition?
Well, so we got contacted early in my term, in January last year, by another Commonwealth attorney in another jurisdiction to provide a list. They're trying to do a book, a history book of all the Commonwealth attorneys who've ever served. And so as we were compiling that list, I said, we don't need just a list. We actually need a plaque hanging somewhere at the courthouse, something to honor the folks who've come on before and that have served our community in this very difficult role as Commonwealth Attorney. And so that was a creation, and this is now the fruit of that labor. It's put together with all the way dating back to William Aston, who served from 1856 to 1860. At the time, these jobs were part-time. They only were at the courthouse, every once in a while trying a case. They had a busy law practice elsewhere. We then all the way up to the first of the 1900s, and that was W.W.G. Dotson. He served from 1899 to 1907, and then again in 1911, and then again in 1928. We fast forward through our history, another name that you'll know from Wise County history, and that's Fred B. Greer, who is named, a gem out at UVA Wise is named for, one of the wise men who had the idea for UVA Wise, as well as Kenneth Asbury, who was the longest serving Commonwealth attorney in Wise County history. And then fast forward through the other Commonwealth attorneys of recent days who are here today. We had Marty Large, Tim McAfee, Greg Callan, Joey Carrico, Gary Gillum, Mike Abbott, and we missed two of our judges who are also former Commonwealth attorneys who are working today on the bench in other courts, that being Chad Dotson and Ron Elkins. We're very proud to be part of this heritage in Wise County history and thrilled to give back to our community, and hopefully this will live on past all of the rest of us. Awesome. Thank you.